A troubled teenager thinks he can get away with anything until one teacher decides to teach him a lesson he'll never forget. Finn is 16 years old. His dad works overseas and his mom died when he was young. He lives with his older brother Jake and Jake's girlfriend Mia, but no one really pays attention to him. At school, Finn hangs out with Whiteley and Joel. All three boys are reckless. They carry knives they shouldn't have, scratch a stranger's car for fun, and treat every adult like an annoyance. In gym class, Finn shows up without his uniform and talks back to his teacher instead of saying sorry. Nobody can control him. Then a new teacher shows up, Mr. Gale. He seems calm and kind, and he wants to help his students. But on his very first day, Joel makes fun of him in front of the class. Whiteley climbs on the furniture and dares him to do something about it. Finn just watches and does nothing. Mr. Gale stays calm and keeps teaching, but you can tell he won't forget this. Outside of school, things keep falling apart for Finn. He steals a drink from a store and gets chased away. At home, he catches Jake pressuring Mia, and later, on Finn's 16th birthday, Jake tells him to move out. Mia is the only one who treats Finn like family, but even she can't fix things at home. With nothing left to lose, Finn and Whiteley spend a whole day wrecking other people's bikes just to laugh about it. Then everything changes. Someone hits Finn and Whiteley from behind while they're walking down an empty road. Finn wakes up chained inside a locked room. His hands are tied to a table with holes drilled into it. Whiteley lies unconscious next to him. There's a chalkboard set up like a classroom. Standing over them is Mr. Gale. He starts teaching like nothing is wrong. He gives Finn 10 seconds to find a word in the dictionary. If Finn is too slow, a nail goes through his hand. Every wrong answer gets punished the same way. Mr. Gale says he's only trying to motivate his students, that pain is part of learning. As time passes, he gives Finn less time to answer, and the punishments get worse. Whiteley is still unconscious, but Mr. Gale nails his hand anyway, just for being disrespectful earlier. Back home, Mia panics when Finn doesn't come back. Jake, instead of worrying, gets jealous and kicks her out of the house. While searching for Finn alone at night, Mia gets caught too and dragged into the same room. Mr. Gale tells her he knew someone would eventually come looking for the boys. Now he has a third student. Things get deadly fast. Whiteley fights back and headbutts Mr. Gale, so Mr. Gale drives a nail straight through his neck. He rants about how his own parents pushed him too hard as a kid and says this is the only way to teach real discipline. Then he threatens Finn. Get every answer right or Mia gets hurt next. Somehow, fear helps Finn focus, and he answers everything correctly. While Mr. Gale celebrates, Mia grabs a loose nail from Whiteley's body and stabs Mr. Gale with it. That gives Finn just enough time to cut his own hands free and slice Mr. Gale's thumbs so he can't grab anything. But it's not over yet. Mr. Gale gets back up and beats Finn down. Mia, still hurt but conscious, grabs a hammer and hits him again and again until he finally stops moving. Finn and Mia walk home together through the quiet streets, changed by what happened. The first thing they do is kick Jake out of the house that never protected them. What makes the lesson so disturbing isn't the nails or the locked room. It's the idea that if cruelty goes unchecked long enough, someone out there might decide to punish it the hard way. Four friends drive out to a lake for a relaxing getaway, but the trip turns into a nightmare hidden in a cornfield. Ash, Ellie, Devin, and Farzi are all couples on vacation together. Ellie is dating Ash, and Farzi is dating Devin. As soon as they arrive, Devin and Ash step away, leaving Ellie and Farzi alone in the car. That's when Ellie and Farzi find something horrifying, a severed human thumb near the car. Instead of telling their partners, they panic and hide it, then head toward the lake. On the way, they get lost in endless cornfields. Ash spots a bird eating what looks like a human finger, but Ellie brushes it off, and the group keeps walking, ignoring every warning sign around them. They finally reach the lake and go for a swim. Afterward, Devon sends Ellie and Farzi back to grab the car, too lazy to walk herself. But when they get there, the car is gone, stolen. Panic turns into an argument, and the argument turns into a physical fight, until the others show up and pull them apart. That's when Ash notices a farmer standing far off in the cornfield, and the group calls out to him, hoping for help getting home. Getting to him isn't easy. They have to cross a barbed wire fence, and while the others make it through fine, Farzi's leg gets caught and badly hurt. Unable to walk, the group leaves him near a scarecrow while Ellie and Devon go look for the farmer, and Ash stays behind to watch over Farzi. While they're alone in the field, Devon starts coming on to Ellie even though she's dating Farzi. Ellie tries to resist at first, but eventually gives in, and the two become intimate. As dusk falls, they hear a strange whistling sound. Before they can react, the farmer appears and knocks Ellie out cold, then drags Devon away. Both of them are taken to a hidden location and tortured. The farmer turns out to be a killer who's been hunting people who vacation near the lake. When Devon won't stop screaming, the farmer sews her mouth shut. Meanwhile, back in the field, Ash grows suspicious of a scarecrow nearby and realizes, horrified, that it's actually a dead body dressed up to look like one. Right then, a man named Derek grabs Ash and tells her to stay quiet if she wants to live. Derek leads her to the killer's hideout where Ash's friends are being held. It turns out, Derek is the killer's son. He used to help his father with the murders, but over time, as his father kept killing people and turning them into scarecrows, Derek started secretly trying to help victims escape instead. Ash watches in horror as the killer starts turning Ellie into a scarecrow, driving nails through his hands. She tries to intervene but gets knocked out. When she wakes up tied to a chair, Derek cuts him free. Derek's father catches them, and Derek begs him to let Ash go and stop the killing, revealing his father snapped after his wife died and has hated other people's happiness ever since. Derek helps Ash escape, but his father stabs him in the neck for it, killing his own son on the spot. Now free, Ash runs for her life. She spots a scarecrow that's actually the killer in disguise and stabs him with a nail to buy time. He also finds Farzi, already turned into a scarecrow, but before she can free him, the killer catches up and kills Farzi while Ash slips away. Ash drags herself, badly injured, toward a car with a couple inside, but they're too distracted having a naughty time to notice her. The killer catches up one last time and drags Ash back into the field. In the final shot, Ash has been turned into a scarecrow too, crows circling above her, and in the distance, dozens of other victims stand frozen in the same cornfield, forgotten forever. What makes this one stick with you isn't the killer or the fire, it's the idea that the world can turn you into a fixture in someone else's field, and nobody will ever come looking.
The killer is hunting escorts across the city, and no one knows who he is, until it's almost too late. The movie opens with Lena, an escort, walking home after meeting a client. A stranger drags her into the bushes and kills her brutally. It's the third murder like this in just a few weeks, and Inspector Aliardi is called in to investigate. Witnesses say a van sped away from the scene right after Lena died.
The story then shifts to Diana, another escort. She meets a new client named Mateo, but he smells bad, so she politely asks him to shower first. Mateo gets offended and cancels the appointment. Later that night, Diana's next client turns violent with her, and she has to fight her way out. As she runs to her car, a mysterious man tries to force his way inside. She speeds off, but he chases her in a white van until she crashes into another car. The crash leaves Diana permanently blind. The other car belonged to a family, a father, mother, and their son, Chin. The father dies at the scene, the mother falls into a coma, and Chin survives with minor injuries. When Aliardi questions Diana, she says a man in a hood tried to attack her before the crash, then chased her in a van. Aliardi realizes this is the same killer who murdered Lena. Diana slowly adjusts to her new life. A rehab instructor named Rita teaches her how to use a cane and get around safely. Worried the killer might come back, Rita suggests Diana get a guard dog, so Diana adopts a dog named Neria. Still feeling guilty about the crash, Diana visits Chin at the orphanage and brings him a toy. Chin later runs away from the orphanage and shows up at Diana's house, refusing to be adopted by a new family while he still hopes his mother will wake up. Diana lets him stay. To support them both, Diana starts working again despite her blindness. Then she learns Chin's mother has died, but she can't bring herself to tell him. Two police officers, Lucy and Jerry, come looking for Chin at her house. Diana lies and says he isn't there, and after a tense standoff, sends the officers away. Knowing they'll come back, Diana decides to take Chin to his own house instead. While they're gone, the killer breaks into Diana's home looking for her and kidnaps Neria when he can't find anyone. Outside, he runs into Lucy and Jerry and kills them both with his van. Diana and Chin barely escape to Rita's house. There, Rita tells Diana the officers are dead and the killer is clearly still hunting her. Chin overhears Diana admit she doesn't want to call the police, afraid they'll take him away. Feeling like a burden, he secretly calls for help, but the phone he dials now belongs to the killer. Chin accidentally reveals where they're hiding. That's when the killer's identity is confirmed. It's Mateo, the man Diana turned away for smelling bad. He's been murdering escorts out of revenge ever since, and now he's coming for Diana. Rita spots Mateo's van on her way out and warns Diana, but Mateo catches and kills her before she can get away. Diana and Chin flee into the forest, discover Rita's body, and Diana finally tells Chin the truth about his mother. They try to flag down help on the road, but Mateo runs the rescuers off and captures Diana and Chin, dragging them to his home full of caged dogs. As Mateo tortures Diana, Neria hears her screams from inside the kennel and breaks free. Diana orders her to attack, and Neria tears Mateo apart, ending his killing spree for good. Aliardi arrives afterward to save them both. In the end, Chin is sent to live with relatives in Hong Kong, and he and Diana share a tearful goodbye, promising to see each other again. Diana returns home with only Neria by her side, forever changed by everything they survived together. What makes this story disturbing isn't the killer's obsession. It's the reminder that losing your sight doesn't make you helpless. It just means the people who underestimate you pay for it. A masked killer is murdering students, and every mask is a copy of the victim's own face. The movie starts with Jackson, a football star at Osborne High, coming home to rest before a big game. When he wakes up, his phone and car are gone, and his front door is wide open. Inside, he finds his walls covered in pictures of himself bullying a boy named Caleb. A masked figure attacks him, wearing a mask that looks exactly like Jackson's own face, and kills him on the spot. At the game, everyone gets a mysterious video showing Jackson bullying Caleb. After Jackson's death, rumors spread that Caleb killed him for revenge. Even though there's no proof, the whole school turns on Caleb, and he's left completely alone. Except for one group of friends who refuse to judge him: Makani, Alex, Darby, Rodrigo, and Zach. Soon after, another student, Katie, is attacked at church by someone wearing a mask identical to her own face. She's stabbed and later found dead, hanging inside the church. Police start investigating both murders and warn students to watch out for anyone wearing a mask that looks like their own face. At school, Zach throws a party while his dad is out of town. Makani, her boyfriend Ali, and the rest of the group show up to have fun. During the party, everyone's phones buzz with pictures revealing Rodrigo's drug use right before the power cuts out.
A masked figure wearing Rodrigo's face is spotted, and in the chaos, Rodrigo tries to escape but gets tased and killed. The school shuts down for a month, but no new murders happen and things start to feel normal again. Later, Ali takes Makani to a cornfield for a date. While he's on the phone, Makani finds a taser hidden in his glove box, the same kind of weapon the killer has been using. Then Ali accidentally reveals he knows about Makani's real name and her past at another school, something she never told him. Convinced Ali is the killer, she runs. Alone at home that night, Makani finds old photos revealing her secret. Back at her old school, she pushed a girl named Jasmine into a bonfire during a hazing incident, leaving her badly burned. Right then, the masked killer attacks her and tries to burn her alive. She fights back and rips off the mask, but the killer gets away before she can see his face. Alex shows up just in time to get her to the hospital. Makani finally tells her friends the truth about her past and reports Ali to the police as the killer. He's arrested, but released the next day when his brother posts bail. Terrified, Makani hides at school and runs into Caleb, feeling safer with him around. But the masked killer appears and stabs Caleb. Ali suddenly shows up too, protecting Makani, proving he isn't the killer after all. Caleb survives after rushing to the hospital. That night, Zach's father hosts a cornfield maze festival. Makani realizes Zach is working inside the maze and could be the killer's next target. She, Allie, Alex, and Darby rush to save him, but the killer sets the maze on fire, trapping everyone inside. While helping people escape, Makani and Allie find the killer, wearing a mask of Zach's father, murdering him. When the mask comes off, it's revealed that Zach has been the killer all along. Zach explains he targeted people who hid dark secrets behind a good reputation. Jackson the bully, Katie the secret racist, Rodrigo the addict, and his own corrupt father. He turns on Makani next because of her hidden past, but Ali manages to stun him just in time, and Makani finishes him off, stabbing Zach and ending his killing spree for good. In the final scene, Makani, Ali, Alex, Darby, and Caleb graduate together and go their separate ways for college. Before the story ends, Makani finally finds the courage to call Jasmine, the girl she hurt years ago, to apologize. What makes this one unsettling isn't the masks, it's the idea that everyone around you might be wearing one, and the person who finally rips it off could be someone who claims to love you. A woman kidnapped by a ruthless serial killer is about to discover she's far more dangerous than the man who abducted her. Julia is excited to finally meet a man she's been talking to on social media. Their first date seems perfectly normal, and by the end of the evening, she heads to her car to drive home. But as soon as she gets inside, she realizes she's not alone. Sitting behind her is the man she just had dinner with, known only as the Stranger, holding a length of wire around her neck. He orders her to drive, warning that one wrong move will cost her life. The Stranger takes Julia to a secluded hideout hidden deep in the woods. Outside, dozens of abandoned cars are scattered across the property, each one belonging to a woman he's murdered. For years, he's been using social media to lure victims before bringing them here to kill them. Julia is simply the latest name on his list. He ties her up with rope and leaves to watch her on a camera from another room. She manages to free her hands, but the Stranger catches her again and burns an X-shaped brand into her skin with a hot iron until she passes out. When Julia wakes up, she's in the Stranger's car next to the body of another victim. He drives to a remote spot and dumps the body in a pit of water. Seeing her chance, Julia escapes and hides inside an abandoned house nearby. The Stranger tracks her down and chases her through the building, but she slips away again, this time hiding inside an old abandoned school. There, she sets a fire using gasoline, and when the stranger comes looking for her, confused by the flames, she ambushes him from behind and knocks him out. That's when a woman named Jessica arrives, Julia's younger sister. The truth comes out. Julia and Jessica are both killers, and their targets are always men, especially unfaithful ones. As children, their father abused and raped them both, and their mother suffered his violence too. One day, he murdered their mother right in front of them. From that moment, the sisters vowed to hunt, torture, and kill men together. Julia uses her looks to lure targets through social media, while Jessica handles the torture once the men are brought home. They throw the stranger in their trunk and take him back to their house, beating him and binding him with wire. Jessica wants to kill him immediately, but Julia insists he suffers slowly first, which frustrates Jessica. Craving another kill, Jessica lures a repairman named Sam to their house under a fake excuse and ties him up beside the stranger. The stranger warns Sam that both sisters are dangerous killers, terrifying him further. Julia is furious when she finds out Jessica grabbed someone so close to home, worried it'll expose them. Jessica insists on killing Sam anyway, but hesitates at the last second, and the stranger mocks her for it. Enraged, Jessica turns her anger on the stranger instead, hammering a nail through his foot and shocking both men with a stun gun. While Jessica rests and Julia bathes, the stranger frees himself with hidden wire cutters and attacks Julia in the bathroom. Jessica rushes in to help, and a brutal fight breaks out. The stranger refuses to run, determined to kill both sisters for defying him. Julia lets Sam go, deciding he doesn't deserve to die, then joins the fight against the stranger with a hammer. Together, the sisters manage to kill him. Exhausted but relieved, Julia hugs Jessica, grateful they survived. But Jessica suddenly stabs her with a pair of scissors, killing her, then stabs the stranger's body again to be sure he's dead. Jessica reveals she killed her own sister because she was tired of being controlled. Julia had always dictated everything they did together, and Jessica wanted the freedom to kill on her own terms. She dismembers both bodies and burns the house down to erase the evidence. In the final scene, sometime later, Jessica is shown on another date with a new man. She smiles, flirts, and acts completely normal, making him believe she's just another woman looking for love. But once they're alone, she quietly pulls out her familiar pair of scissors. Jessica has no intention of stopping. She simply plans to keep killing on her own. A woman falls for a charming stranger, never realizing he's already picked her out as his next meal. Noah lives alone. Her father died long ago, and she's never known her mother. Lonely and tired of dating apps, she goes out with a man named Chad, but the date goes nowhere, and she tells him afterward she's not interested. She vents about it to her best friend Molly, the only person she really considers family. Not long after, Noah meets a handsome man named Steve at the supermarket. He's charming, gets her number, and soon invites her out for drinks. The two hit it off immediately, and after a night of drinking, they end up sleeping together. Noah is thrilled and tells Molly all about him, but when Molly asks to see his social media, it turns out Steve doesn't have any, which strikes Molly as strange. Noah brushes off the concern. The relationship moves fast. Steve invites Noah on a weekend getaway, and even though Molly is uneasy about it, she doesn't want to get in the way of her friend's happiness. The next morning, Steve picks Noah up and drives her out to his house. Once there, he offers her a drink that leaves her dizzy and unconscious. Noah wakes up chained in a basement. Steve reveals the truth. He's been pretending to be a good man just to lure women like her, and he's actually a cannibal who sells women's flesh to a secret group of wealthy clients who believe it tastes better than any other meat. He doesn't kill his victims right away. Instead, he keeps them alive and slowly cuts pieces from their bodies to keep the meat fresh, which is why Noah hears two other captive women through the walls, Penny and Melissa, the latter already broken by how long she's been trapped. When Noah tries to escape during a bathroom trip, Steve overpowers her and punishes her by cutting flesh from her body while she's sedated. Meanwhile, Molly grows suspicious after noticing a photo Noah sent her was actually pulled from the internet. She tracks down the bartender from Noah's first date with Steve and gets his real name, Brendan Steve Kemp, which leads her to his wife and home address. Molly confronts Steve's wife, Anne, who denies knowing anything. When Steve comes home and lies about not knowing Noah, Molly realizes the truth and is knocked out by Anne from behind. She's dragged into the same basement, and it's revealed Anne has known about Steve's crimes all along. She was once one of his victims too, missing a leg because of him. But somewhere along the way, she fell in love with her captor instead. Determined to survive, Noah decides to play along, pretending to be charmed by Steve and even forcing herself to eat human flesh to earn his trust. Her act works, and Steve grows increasingly obsessed with her, treating her to an intimate dinner and showing her his collection of victims' belongings, where she spots Molly's phone case and realizes her best friend is trapped somewhere in the house too. During a romantic moment in the bedroom, Noah seizes her chance and viciously bites off Steve's genitals, then grabs his keys and phone to free Molly and Penny. Steve chases them down with a gun, but the three women fight back together in the forest and Noah shoots him dead. Just when it seems over, Anne appears and attacks Noah out of jealousy and grief over Steve's death, choking her, but Molly arrives in time to kill Anne and save her friend. Noah is left stunned to learn she had unknowingly been sleeping with a married man this whole time. In the final scene, Noah receives a text from Chad, the man from her very first failed date, hinting that after everything she's survived, she might give ordinary dating one more chance. A lonely woman's obsession with living someone else's perfect life turns her into something monstrous. Claire is a hairdresser at a beauty salon, quiet and introverted, with no family since her teenage years. She loves listening to clients' stories about their happy lives. And one night, a client named Sarah stays late to dye her hair, talking about her family and career. Claire slips something into her drink, and once Sarah passes out, Claire scalps her, unalives her, and hides the body. She keeps the scalp in her basement alongside a growing collection taken from every victim she's ever claimed. Claire has lived a lonely, empty life since childhood, and that emptiness has slowly turned into a compulsion to become other people. She doesn't just take her victims' hair, she scalps them and fashions the scalps into wigs, putting them on so she can briefly transform into the women she's unalived, talking to herself as if she were them. It gives her fleeting happiness, but the feeling never lasts. A loyal client named Olivia asks Claire to style her hair for her upcoming wedding. Claire agrees, and after the appointment, Olivia invites her over to see how the hairstyle looks with her dress. Claire is stunned by Olivia's beautiful home and the life she's built. To feel closer to her, Claire exaggerates her own backstory, lying about her family. Afterward, alone in her car, she breaks down crying, furious at herself for lying just to gain sympathy. The sadness reignites her urge to kill, and she targets another victim, a barista named Dawn, though this one wakes up mid-attack and forces Claire to finish her off in a panic. Determined to stop, Claire seals off her basement and tries to build real friendships. She attends Olivia's party and finally gets to socialize, but overhears Olivia's friends mocking her behind her back, which stings deeply. Still, she resists the urge to hurt anyone again, even abandoning an attempt on one of Olivia's friends at the last second. As the wedding approaches, Claire grows increasingly obsessed with Olivia's life, stalking her social media and following her in person.
When she shows up uninvited at Olivia's workplace and brings up something private Olivia had confided in her, Olivia is furious and cuts her off completely. Desperate and spiraling, Claire breaks into Olivia's house, tries on her clothes, and is nearly caught when Olivia comes home early.
Back at her own house, Claire reopens her sealed basement, puts on wigs made from past victims' scalps, and tries to comfort herself by becoming them again. But nothing works anymore. In a rage, she claims another victim, scalping her and putting the fresh, bloody scalp directly onto her head without even cleaning it first. The next morning, she spots a police flyer with her face on it from a security camera and quickly hides the evidence. Still, she shows up to style Olivia's hair for the wedding, consumed by jealousy over everything Olivia has that she never will. Alone with her in the bridal room, Claire breaks down in tears, unable to explain why. When the ceremony begins and Charlie lifts the bride's veil, it isn't Olivia standing there. It's Claire, wearing a wig made from Olivia's own scalp. Chaos erupts as guests discover Olivia's lifeless body in the bridal room, unalived before the ceremony ever began. In the final moment, Claire's expression shifts from twisted joy to horrified realization of what she's done. With no way to undo it, her fate as a killer finally caught is sealed.